So obviously by now you've heard that we're all online, so this is kind of the way things are going to go. So what I'm going to do with this one is I'm actually going to show you how to make this program. So you've all kind of made this one. If we go just down a little bit, you've kind of all had to go at this one. So this is list B, so this is program 2. So now we need to kind of have a look at the first one, which is here. So I'm going to go through this one. So basically it's a warehouse that want you to identify or categorise boxes and which zone they go in based on the price. So we're going to make it together. So I'm just going to minimise this for a second and open up a new Visual Studio. Now I'm using the 2019 version because obviously I'm not at college at the minute, so I can't actually use a 2017 version because this is on my laptop. And we're just going to make it look pretty, basically. Now you can make it look however you want. I'm just going to go through and put the basics on. So I'm going to just add text boxes. So I'm going to need a few of these. So I'm going to just copy and paste them, Control and V them. I kind of want to make them look better, make them look easier. I'm not going to mess around with the colours because I'm just going to show you how to do the functionality. You're going to mess with the colours and things. So I've got my text boxes. I need some labels. I need quite a few labels actually, because if you go back to here, it tells you that you need to basically be able to enter the product code, show the value, and then explain where it gets stored. So it's going to kind of look like this. So let's add some labels. One. I'm just going to make it look right, and then I'll do all the changing of it later. Changing the names and things. Right, so I've got those. I'm going to also need some more labels to actually display information. So I'm going to put those there. And there. And then we need one more. Like that. And then I'm going to need a button, so I'm going to find my button. So that's here, like that. So I can actually make this smaller. There we go. So this is where we're at. So now I'm going to name things. So name them the exact same way as you've been doing all term, really. So label 1 is going to become product code, like that. Press enter. Value not specified. Am I running things? Yes, because I'm putting in the wrong fact. Don't listen to me, what do I know? Right, product code. This is the thing that's going to actually display. There we go. Now we need to go into this section, which is where I always get confused, and call it LBL. And I'm going to call mine LBL product code. Like that. Okay? And I'm just going to move it a bit, make it look better. So I'm going to do the same for label 2. So label 2 is going to be my quantity, because you've got to be able to enter the actual amount of products that are inside your box. And then don't forget to enable it, so let's go LBL quantity, like that. Okay, and then the next one, this one's going to be cost of a single item. So I'm just going to do this first. It'll be LBL cost single, like that. Actually no, let's make it easy, let's just put single. Like that. And then let's change what the text looks like. So this will be cost of a single item, like that. So that's all those done. It kind of looks not very user friendly, but if I move all of these kind of there, now we move these out a bit, it kind of looks better. You'll have more time to do this. Right, let's do the text boxes. So txt product code, like that, and this one is going to be txt quantity, like that, and this one is going to be txt single, like that. So we've dealt with these, let's deal with these. So in here, I want to be able to show the product code. So I'm going to type, this is going to literally display the product code, so it'll be LBL, what can we call it, product, like, oh, don't hold your L down, LBL product, like that. Okay, and inside here we actually want to put some text. So if I can just find it, there we go. I want to call it product code because I want to show the person or show what's been entered, so we'll do it like that, product code. And we'll just move LBL over a little bit, and then in here this one is going to be total value, so we'll just put total value in here like that, press enter and find LBL7 and call it LBL total, and then move that over to match there, and then this last one is going to be LBL zone, and this is going to tell us which zone to actually put our product in, so make sure we name it correctly like that. Miss my semicolon off, looks better. Move that over, and then this one will move over, and we'll call this one LBL zone letter. Okay, right, last one, button. So I'm just going to call my button btn check, and then my actual button text is going to have check written on it like that. So it looks pretty plain, there's no title on it, you need to put a title on it. It doesn't look very pleasant, it's all grey, so I'll leave the prettifying up to you, but let's get onto the code. So you need to make sure you fully comment all of your code, so I'm going to do it with you. So we'll double click on check and we'll get behind the button, so your code needs to go behind the button. Okay, so first thing you need to do is you need to create a string, so you need to create a variable that can actually hold the product code. So to do this we're going to use string, so string, and I'm going to call it product code like that. Can I zoom in a bit? Yeah, product code, and I'm going to make it equals, and I'm going to try and make it equals my text box. So my text box is txt product code dot text like that. Now we don't need to actually convert this one because we're going to store it as a string and we're going to use it as a string, so we can keep it as a string, that's fine. So the next one, we're going to create another one called an int, and this is going to hold the cost of our variable. Okay, so obviously we're going to have to do something with this one, so we need to convert it. So we need to convert it because we actually want to display it in a text box or in a label, and if we keep it as a number it won't actually register with the program that you're only displaying it. It will start throwing up errors. So do you remember the thing about strongly typed and weakly typed? So C# is strongly typed because all of its data types are data types. So for example, an integer will always be an integer. You can never do anything with it that you could do with a string. So for example, with a string you can display messages, you can display text. You can't do that with an integer. You have to convert it. So the way we convert it is we use int32. So we're going to get hold of our variable, we're going to convert it dot to int32, and then we're going to use it as txt single, that one, dot text. So we're saying that we're going to take it here and we're going to convert it to integer and we're going to assign it to this text box, so we're going to display it in this text box. So that's that bit. Okay, next thing, we need another one called int quantity. Okay, so we have to do the exact same thing with int quantity. So I'm going to take quantity, did I do a capital? I think I did, yeah. Quantity, and I'm going to equals, and I'm going to convert it to int32, and then I'm going to store it inside the txt quantity text box like that. Okay, so I've done that. So here I have created a variable to store the product code. On this one I've created a variable to store the cost of a single item, and then on here I have converted the variable into an integer, and then here you get the idea. So I've created to store the quantity, and then underneath just do that, copy that one again. So you're going to be copying, you're commenting, sorry, each line, okay? Right, so the next bit, so we've done quantity, we've converted it. The next bit we need to do is total value. So we actually have to, if you go back to here, we have to show the total value. So we enter the single item and we have to display the total value. So we have to do a bit of maths. So we need to create a variable for that. So we're going to create an integer. We're going to call it total value, like that. Oh, no spaces, no spaces, like that. So we've got total value. Okay, again we need to do the whole thingy to it, but we don't need to convert it this time, we just need to do some maths. So we're going to do total value, which is what our variable is, and we're going to assign it the following maths to work out. So quantity, so we're going to take quantity and we are going to multiply quantity by cost. Okay, so that will work out how many or how much our boxes cost, or how much our box costs based on the amount of items in our box multiplied by the price. Okay, so here again you're creating a value, converted, converted, create a variable to store. Yeah, so here you're going to create a variable to store the total value, and then in here you are multiplying the quantity of items in a box by the cost of a single item to get the total cost. Okay? Oh, it'd help if I could spell. Right, so we've done all of that. So the next thing, we need to start displaying. Okay, so I'm going to just do this because it just helps me, and then I'm going to put the word display in. So this is actually like a break. It's like putting a new page or creating a new paragraph, and it's just a comment, and this is where we actually start displaying. Okay, so we're going to actually get the total displayed to the user. So we're going to use LBL total, that one, dot text. I spelt total wrong. And we're going to give it the value of total value. So whatever we've just done here, we're going to give it that. Now if you just leave it like that, you're going to get an error because the string types are different. So we've converted it, we've got an integer, so now we need to convert it to a string. So we use dot to string, like that. Okay, so we've got an integer and we've done the maths with it, and now we need to display the answer. So we set a variable, we set as label, and we've signed it the value, so we've signed it the variable, but we have to convert it back to a string to be able to display it. So that's that bit. So this is where it gets a little bit tricky, so we're going to be using if statements. Okay, so an if statement is kind of questions that you ask the computer. So you say, does it equal to this? If the answer is no, do this, else do this. So we're going to set a couple of them, and we can just copy and paste once we've done one. So we're going to say if, open bracket, like the normal curly brackets, total value, like that, is more than, or equal, no, it's less than, isn't it? Less than or equal to 50. I always get these wrong. Like that. Okay, so we're actually just working on this bit here. So we're working here, so we've done all of this, we've got all of this sorted, now we're up to here. Okay, so we're onto this bit. So if it's less than or equal to 50, so now we need to open up our weird little braces things, so the ones that have got like the little spike in the middle, and we're going to say that if this is true, we're going to ask LBL, I can't spell, LBL zone, that one, LBL zone letter dot text to display A, and then we're going to copy where it says on the assignment brief, low stock area. So we're just copying this. So that goes inside your speech marks like that. Okay, and then don't forget your weird little semicolon on the end. So you've done an if statement. Okay, now with an if statement we get an else if. So you can do a switch in case if you want. The easiest way to do it is do an else if. So now we are saying that if this is false, ignore this line of code and go straight to my else if. I'm going to check if the total value is less than or equal to 51, and it must be below, if I can spell it right, or equal to 100. So what we're saying here is that if the total value is less than 51, less than 51, and total value is more than 100, it's going to do this and display LBL zone and it's going to give it the value of, let's copy it straight from here, B. So we're saying if it's between 51 and 100, then it's going to say B. So put that in there, like that. Okay. And now we're going to do the same thing for the next one. Okay, and we're going to have another else if. So I'm just going to copy this, like that. And this time it's going to be total value is less than or equal to 101. And total value is less than or equal to 200, like that. And now we're just going to copy this bit from C and just place that in there. Okay, and then we've got one more to do, and this is the last one, so we're going to copy it again, like that. And we're going to say this time we only need one. Okay, so we can get rid of this, so we don't need the and anymore, like that. And we're saying that if it is more than or equal to 201, then it's going to display D, like that. Okay, so let's just put some comments in here. So this bit, so from here we are saying that using an if statement to identify the zone, and then if it is like that. Okay, and then we're just going to do the same thing for the rest. So you're going to do another one here. It says if the value is more than 50, this section of code will be checked, like that. And then if the value is between 51 and 100, it will display zone B. And then we just do the same for this one. So on this one we're going to say that it's going to check if the value is more than or equal to 101, then it's going to check this. Then we'll do another one that says if the value is between 101 and 200, it will display C. You're just basically explaining the code. And then the final one, if the value is more than or equal to 201, this section of code will be run. If the value is more than, it'd help if I actually used comments. If the value is more than or equal to 201, it will display C, like that. So this is kind of the full code. We just need to go back and comment this one. So here, displaying the total value to the user, like that. Okay, so we've commented all this code, so let's just go through it a little bit. So we have created a variable here called product code, and we are going to use that to store whatever our user enters in here. Okay, the next thing, we've created another one called cost, and we have literally converted that into an integer, so we can do some maths with it, into a string even. think, hang on a minute. Yeah, that needed to be a string. That's it. So then let's go back. Yeah, ignore that. And then we've gone on to total value, and we've done the same thing. We've used it as an int, and we have used the quantity, which is up here, and the cost, which is up here, and we have done some maths to multiply them. We've then done and displayed the actual total value into our label, and then we've done some if statements to basically work our way through. So when we first get the total cost, it'll go through this line of code, check to see if it's less than 50. If it is, it will execute this line of code. If it's not, it will skip it and move straight to here, and it will check this and make sure if this is true. So if it is between these 51 and 100, it will display this, but if not, it just totally skips it and it moves on to here. And then it will check this line of code and check that it's between 101 and 200. If it is, it'll run this. If not, it skips it. And then the last one, if it's more than 201, it will run this. So a moment of truth. I haven't tested this yet, so let's see what happens. Right, so if we just look back here, it says our product code ranging from A, O, O, O. Right, so let's just steal the first one and put that in there. Quantity, I'm going to say I've got 80 of them. Okay, so 80 of them. Cost of a single item, I'm going to say each item is £6. I'm going to click check. So this one is missing, but this one's right. Okay, so we need to just go back because we've looked and reworded things. So product code, we don't think we assigned that, did we? Did we create it? Yes, but we never assigned it. Yeah. Right, so we'll assign it here. So LBL, let's just check what it's named. So I want this one. Oh, I never gave it one. Why? Right, LBL product C. Right, let's so LBL. Ooh. Start giving me that one right. Let's go to here and go down. LBL product C dot text equals product code, like that. Okay, so that one we are assigning to the label. Right, and what was the other error that we had? I can't remember. What was the other one we had? Let me think. Let me try running it. So if we put that in there, quantity we had 8, and like that, just check that. So that works. Ah, we've got this one the wrong way around. Okay, that's fine. So if we look at where we are assigning, here we are assigning it to the wrong one. It needs to go to this label here. So if we look what that's called, label 7. This is why we rename things. LBL total price, like that. So LBL total price dot text. That were it. Right, was there anything else? I don't think there was. Let's try again. Like that. Quantity, I'm going to put 80. Price, I'm going to put 6. And I'm going to run it. So product code there, good. Perfect. And I've just made a mistake in that. So I'm just going to go back and check. Yeah, and he's moving. That's fine. Right, so that is the program made. So you need to prettify it, okay, you need to make it look fun. But other than that, that is it. So you've got all the code here. I've gone through it, I've talked you way through it. Should be able to do it. This isn't necessary, I just put it in. But that is how your program should look. Okay? Any problems, email me, let me know. Bye for now.